Yeah, I'm live. I'm playing with my toys. Leave me alone. Come back later. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Tim, of course, with Online Big Blue. And what's going on, guys? AB in the house. Mike Lee in the house. Everyone's in the house. The house is in the house. We got the wind plug pulling up. Oh, my God. We got Mr. Wind plug sitting there. What's going on, guys? Oh, my goodness gracious me. Hold on. I got my phone on. I got too much crap going on here. I got people texting me. I missed a call. Whoops, I shouldn't call that person back because I don't know who that call person is. So we're going to talk about some New York football Giants, of course, here. Anything newsworthy going on? Anything going on that we know about? Anything going on that we don't know about? I think we don't know a lot. I think Daniel Jones, of course, he's in. He's out. Mike Glennon's in. Mike Glennon's out. It's a catastrophe. Only team I ever know that their starting quarterback is potentially out for a game or maybe a season or a series or whatever. And our fan base, and I've said this before, our fan base and the good majority of them are like, meh, he's out. Okay. Let's see what Mike Glennon can do. And then poor Mike Glennon, man, he just wants to Nikki. All right, hold on. I got to do the intro for Nikki. Nikki wants the old intro. Hold on. No, I didn't do the intro yet. Open recent. Let me see here. Giants. Hold on. Don't save that. Oh my God. All right. We're ready for the old intro. I'm only going to charge everyone $15 to hear this, but I'm going to do it for free today. Just joking. Here we go. Hello, everyone. This is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Oh, there we go. There's that intro. That makes everyone happy. Can we get Malik Willis? No, there you go, Nick. You didn't miss the intro. And you know what? Nobody missed. Oh my God. I got the Lost in Space robot. How freaking awesome is the Lost in Space robot? What do you think about the Giants? The Giants are in danger. They're in danger of falling out of relativity. They're in danger of having to have Daniel Jones come back for a fourth year. They're in danger for a lot of things. Not good, not bad. Take the good to get the bad. You got the facts of life. But I'm sitting here talking about, you're very welcome, Nikki. I'm glad you enjoyed the intro. One's in the house. There's a report on the New York Post that Jones practiced today when Astro Judge said it was a normal practice for Jones. Whatever. You know what? I feel bad for Mike Glennon, man, because you know what he is?
You can't keep me cooped up in here, okay? I am a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
You gotta let Mike Glennon fly, man. You gotta let him fly. Who was, and everyone talks about the simpatico relationship with Kadarius Toney and Daniel Jones. Kadarius Toney had his best game with Mike Glennon at quarterback. He's kind of sucked with Daniel Jones when he did play. Just throwing that out there. Running through a wall. All right, well, I appreciate that. That was a good intro. Oh, what we got here? Yeah, Vinny G, you better be in the house. I'm mad at you. We're also going to release today King of the Almost Sack shirts, hoodies. We have the final what would you call the final design already done. It's already ready to rock and roll. Does that make Mrs. Garrett? They take the good, you take the bad, you take it all in there. You have the facts of life. Can you imagine a radio station wants me? They want me to come on to sing the facts of life and go. And it drives around, man. It drives around, and the freaking arms move. It's so awesome. Oh my God! I wish I was 12 again. I act like I'm 12. We need Jones to play. I'm tired of Saquon, DJ, and Shepard. Yeah, we don't need Jones to play. We don't. Honestly, we don't. I mean, like I said, I've never seen a fan base just like, oh, let's see what Mike Glennon can do. Let's see what Jake from State Farm can do. Let's throw it out there. Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? They might score some more touchdowns. I mean, we can't get along with Daniel Jones's 10 touchdowns and 10 interceptions and fumbles and all that shit. We can't get along without that. I have been warning people for 5 weeks now. Even going back to NFL Talk from across the pond and back, for 5 weeks, I have been warning people, don't sleep on Miami. Miami, why they're not going to make the playoffs, is going to be that team you do not want to play when you get to the playoffs, or if you're a playoff team. Oh, Damian Jackson, thank you for joining. We have a new member, of course, the OG Online Big Blue, with all the wonderful things. You get the badge, you get cool videos, you get to see the screenshots for the videos before anyone else. So I appreciate that, Mr. Jackson. It's always fun. It's always fun. Are you putting on people tonight, bro? Vinny G, do you want to come on? If you want to come on, give me a few minutes. Give me a few minutes of just to talk some shit, and I'll have some people on. People want to come on. I don't know if it's going to work. It didn't work last. We had so many technical difficulties in the stream last time. It's not even funny. And I just sat there and thought to myself, it's never going to get old. Well, yeah, I might get old. What is that? I was on lockdown. Tim, like our secondary last week. Let's see it on Sunday. I agree. But I've said this before. Do not sleep on the Miami Dolphins. I've said this a million times. The offense is their running game can be acceptable. You got the Waddle. I'm still a big fan of Tua. A lot of people aren't, but I am. I got to cough a second, guys. I am. But that defense now, with Jalen Phillips turning the corner and all the other defensive ends and people that they have, it would be a difficult or Herculean task for the Giants to go into Miami and win. And honestly, I felt better about this game with Mike Glennon because
you can't keep me cooped up in here, okay? I am a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
We gotta let Mike Glennon fly. Let him spread his wings. Aga! Let him go. Let him see what he can do. Well, we already know what he can do. He's like 3-27 or something crazy like that in his last starts. But that was with the Bears and the Bucks and a bunch of garbage teams. But just let him go. Give him a shot. Now I love it because you hear people, oh, Daniel Jones is a tough guy. He's a tough guy. You know what's funny? The media and the fans made more of Daniel Jones getting hurt and potentially not playing than the organization did. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, that's crazy. And that's why I get a little upset about this. I'm not going to rant, Mike Lee. I got my toys to keep me calm. I'm not going to rant. Give me Willis. I want Willis too. I think everyone on this planet knows that I want Malik Willis.
All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
It's time. You want a quarterback who can run and not get hurt? It's Malik Willis. You want a quarterback that knows how to slide? It is Malik Willis. There's a guy that can do quite a number of things, and you know what? And he's not going to get hurt doing it. He's not going to get hurt. Oh, wait a minute. I got to add a background. Hold on. Hold on. How do I add a background? I'm going to add a background. Someone just secretly pinged me, or whatever that's called, where they ping you. And they said, where's the king of the almost sack? All right, hold on. We're going to, I wasn't going to release it till later, but I'm going to release the new, which is going to be the new, it's going to be the new merchandise from Online Big Blue. I just have to find it. Where'd it go? I don't remember what I did with it. And I know I'm vamping right now. Oh, here we go. Is that it? Is that it? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I lost it. I lost it. Where'd it go? Hey, where'd it go? I was supposed to ship this out already. Now it's gone. Oh my God. Hold on, everyone. Just hold your horses. If you have horses to hold. Oh, wait, here we go. All right. Found it. All right. I'm going to open this up. This is loading. So are we ready for the new shirt? I'm going to add it to the background, then I'm going to move out of the way. It's going to be the new paraphernalia, I guess, if you what you want to call it. And it's going to be, why isn't it going to my backgrounds? Oh, well, you know what? We're going to have to do it later because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, wait, here. I'll go to the green screen to do it. I got to do it here. All right, here we go. All right, are we ready? Do we need a drum roll? We have now, right now, whoops. And I can't show it all on the screen, but we'll show a little bit. Here we go. We'll give you a preview. It's going to be King of the Almost Sack. I'm not going to say what it's going to be. I'm not going to move around. I'm not going to say what it's going to be, but we're going to have the King of the Almost Sack.
king of the almost sack.
Paraphernalia. Let me move out of the way so you can see the around this side. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna give you the full preview because I don't want people to go crazy and start ordering them by the dozen. No tank for Malik Willis chat. Sorry, just to troll the Giant fans. Mazinga's in the house. I've been over DJ since last year. Me too, Winplug. I mean, Joey G's in the house with the sports. What's going on, Joey G? Zack Attack is here. Of course, Zack Attack is here. It is with DJ's awesome stats. I know DJ is so awesome. Like I said, I could easily. I mean, how hard is it to not have these things for Daniel Jones? How hard is that? How difficult is it going to be not to have his stats? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be facetious. But how hard is it? How difficult is it not to have those stats? I mean, I think I could throw 10 touchdowns and have a bunch of fumbles and interceptions. Oh my God. What do we got here? Also put ourselves on a spot where if we don't get a quarterback, we're screwed because if we make the team better and he carries us to like 7 wins, we might not be able to get a chance in 2023. That's the big problem. Oh, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by. I left the record on. That's my biggest problem too. So let's say Daniel Jones didn't play. Then you're going to give him year 4. Then he gets hurt in year 4. Then I'm tagging him. I'm extending him for $21 million. And then I'm stuck with him in year 5. It's going to be a never ending story. He's going to be 497 years old and still be the quarterback of this damn team. It's a bowl game time for Liberty. It is bowl game time for Liberty. What's going on? Clutch B-Ball TV, another YouTuber. Go out there. He does a lot of good basketball stuff. Evan Ingram is in the house. Evan Ingram, I'm sorry. You do not have a king of the almost sack paraphernalia. It's not fake, Evan Ingram. We all know it's real. Where's baby Saquon? He's injured. Oh, my God. Where did baby Saquon go? Baby Saquon, I think, is injured. I don't know where baby Saquon. He's in the hyperbolic chamber right now, trying to heal himself. Would you trade Daniel Jones and sign Marcus Mariota as a stopgap? Yes. I said before, and I've talked about this about a bazillion times, 2 years ago when Marcus Mariota was released in a free agent, I wanted Marcus Mariota. I thought he would be a wonderful fit and a wonderful competition for Daniel Jones, but they were afraid. The Giants were afraid. Thoughts on Isaiah Wilson or Hernandez are gone. He can't be any worse. We just got to keep him off the road and away from the booze and jumping off of balconies at parties he shouldn't even be at. The guy's got a lot of problems legally. A lot of problems. What do you need, Si? I need a therapy session for the Daniel Dimes supporters. Okay, everyone breathe. Ooh, it'll be okay, Saeed. It'll be okay. Because it's never, because anytime with Daniel Jones, oh, that was the king of the almost said. Oh, that would have been funny, but because I was about to do something funny, I was gonna say, because with Daniel Jones, it's never.
I ran out of gas. I had a flat tire. I didn't have enough money for cab fare. My tux didn't come back from the cleaners. An old friend came in from out of town. Someone stole my car. There was an earthquake, a terrible flood, locust. It wasn't my fault.
And we all know that's Daniel Jones. It's never his fault. That's going on. What's going on, Mr. Lewis? How you doing today? Welcome into the stream. It's never his fault. What you talking about, Mr. Willis? And my best Arnold from Different Strokes impression. Mr. T, of course, was on that show at the point. I find it hilarious how DJ lovers will say they never bash a player after a bad game, but they did last year bash. They bashed the crap out of Evan Ingram. I love DJ lovers that sit there and tell me they don't want to draft Malik Willis because he's had multiple bad games in a row. And they saw one of his games and they wouldn't draft him because of that. And I think to myself, I could think of at least 12 bad games Daniel Jones had at Duke. So by that logic, Daniel Jones should not be our quarterback. Just saying. I'm just saying it. What's up, TG family? J-Ham in the house. We're in the house. I'm fired up today, man. It's early. Didn't even take a nap. What's up with the link, Tim? Let's just get. Hold on, Vinny G. Relax, my friend. Relax. Got to vamp a little here, man. I got greetings from Toronto. Is it cold up in Toronto, John? How cold is it? How cold is it? It's so cold in Toronto. Daniel Jones' stiff neck doesn't hurt. Mr. Authentic in the house. How you doing, Mr. Authentic? Appreciate you stopping by. Are there fans that wanna win out? They won't solve anything. We need to blow the whole thing up. The only way that team gets better. I agree, but you know what? You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose and you on purpose. You never do. But to your point, if we win some ancillary games, it's just going to be bad. It's just going to be terrible. Hey, Mr. Authentic, tell the beard, I got this. Vintage. I'll be on this show and talk about my vintage toys. Where does he get those wonderful toys? I know how to fumble. Damn, really? I'm about to ask for a job with the Giants. All right. If you know how to fumble, that's pretty good then. Neck strain's not a good injury. It can be very, very, it can be neck injury. I've never had a neck injury. I've had stingers, which is sort of like a neck injury, but I never had like a neck injury, like a neck injury, like where you felt like your neck. Well, a stinger is kind of like a neck injury because it's more your neck and your shoulders though. Well, Daniel's expendable, so no big loss. He is expendable. Diet Ghost, there's no saving them. There's no saving what? From Facts of Life. I just laugh. What do you laugh at? I'm just here to laugh at the delusional Giant fans, y'all. They really hold out hope for most unrealistic things. Don't we all, though? I mean, hell, I still believe in Santa. Better fire Gettleman before the draft, before he trades the top picks to a box of Cheerios. You know what the problem is? He would probably get a box of stale Cheerios, Dave Gettleman, that is. Evan Ingram dropping the facts. We're all dropping facts here. I knew this one DJ. Oh, this has got to be good. I knew one DJ fanboy that said at Pro Football Focus, deep ball accuracy stats. He consistently calls me a hater when I speak something logical. He now turns on DJ and repeats everything. I love that. That's the greatest thing in the world. I even said that in the video today. There were so many DJ fans that I have seen that were just turned on him immediately. And it was almost, and like I said, I've never seen it before. It's like, yeah, let's give Mike Lennon a shot. Let's give Jake from State Farm a shot. Why not? I was like, wait a minute, you just loved this guy a week ago, and now you want me to, you just want to give him a shot? They'll always bash me. You never get, yeah, well, Evan, you got to catch the damn ball. Catch the damn ball. This female Daniel Jones lovers was attacking me on Twitter because she felt he deserved a massive extension. I still see the same thing. Daniel Jones needs to get laid. Maybe he should just get her number. Just throwing that out there. Ha! It's cold as the Giants. It sucks. Oh my goodness. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta. Mr. Authentic is supposed to give me an idea about getting a new soundboard and a new extension from all my buttons, but he hasn't sent anything yet to my email or anything. I'm not going to talk about that. Not going to talk about that. Oh my God. What's up, Mario? What's up? The Dolphins rush is no joke. Look what they did to Lamar and Cam quarterback. Usually fare well against the rush. And I said this, Connor. I've said this. I've warned people about this. You need to worry about Miami. And I have been, you can go back and listen. I've been saying this for 5 weeks now before they went on their 4-game winning streak. And I've said this before. I wonder at times if the scheme that Patrick Graham is running is not the brainchild of Brian Flores. I said that when we hired Patrick Graham. Are we getting Patrick Graham's scheme or the Brian Flores edition of it? Because Brian Flores is one hell of a defensive coordinator. I get worried about that. So there's not going to be an element of surprise that Brian Flores is not going to know from Patrick Graham. I'm just throwing that out there. You wanted me on your show. Remember that last show? I'm okay. Yeah, you're going to come on. We got to work a little here, dude. You're going to come on. I got like a little bit. And hold on. Yeah, I did. Are you still going to come on? Jalen Phillips, the only spirit. What do we got here? Tyrone, what's going on? That's going on, Tyrone. How you doing, dude? Send Jones to Tinder date. I think we should. We need LT.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke
We
crack.
need LT to go send him a hooker, something. You know it. You know what we're talking about. We all know what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Click this button right here. Did it drive anyone else crazy when Jones threw to Farrell Cooper on 3rd and 7? He had Ingram open. He did have Ingram open the flat, and I didn't understand that throw. But you know what? The game is over and we won. So I'm not going to even look. We can't really look back at that when you won a game. But it did drive me crazy. Yes, Booker should start. Booker should get more snaps. He should. Why not put Booker and Saquon in the backfield together? Because what we need to do is we need to flare out Saquon. We need to get him out in the flat. We need to see what he's got. Bend, don't break, and hope you don't lose to a hell of a scheme. That is a hell of a scheme, though. That's a great scheme. What's up, Mike Lee? The DJ lovers are now meh since they believe he'll be back for his fourth season. I don't know if I can do a fourth season of Daniel Jones. Mr. Jones, I don't know if I can do it, guys. Can anyone do a fourth season of Daniel Jones? I don't know. I don't know. Now it's reported that Jones, like I said, I did a video and I put on the video itself that Daniel Jones is out, ? He is questionable for Sunday. Never said he was out. Just said he was questionable because of the fact that things can change. It's a fluid situation. You don't know how it's going to change throughout the week. And I think that's the biggest issue. The Oilers did that to LT once, and allegedly LT sent hookers to to the other opponents as well. Would you want to throw the ball to Evan Ingram? I would still want to throw the ball to Evan Ingram. He's still a viable option at tight end. And honestly, we don't really have one. Russell Wilson will be a giant, lol. Yeah, because all of a sudden the salary cap's going to magically disappear. We're not going to have any salary cap problems anymore. Everything's going to be fine. We're not going to have 43 players and for $212 million against a cap, which is 208. Well, no, that's going to happen. No, that's going to happen. Defensively, it's going to be a battle of the Xaviers. Yeah, it is. You're right. 100%. Jones turned his head, neck, according to Judge. I turn my head and neck all the time. I don't get hurt. I just think it's, and I'm not one of these people that are like, well, you know what it is? It's a smoke screen. They're smoke screen like they did with Jason Garrett. No, you can't, because the Belichick took care of that when he used to lie about injuries all the time, and now you get fined and everything else if you lie about your injuries. So it's not a smoke screen. How many weeks before DJ Livers turn on Kitchens? Oh, I think it'll be this week. If they put up another 7, I think they might get shut out, to be honest. That's how scared I am of the Dolphins defense. Been saying this for weeks now. Weeks. Russell Wilson would have been mentally deranged when it comes to New York. Yeah. It's not a good spot right now. Not a great spot. I see Kerry Collins and Jake Fromm. I don't know. Kerry Collins was not a bad quarterback. I like Kerry Collins. I thought Kerry Collins played well for us. And then he kind of mandered around, went over in Oakland, and then what was he in Tennessee? I don't remember. He bounced around quite a bit. I don't want a first season with Jones. I think everyone knows I want a Josh Allen. I still have the Josh Allen jersey, giant jersey, in my closet because that's how confident I was. I thought they were going to pick him. I can't. I want to see someone else with the receivers and Saquon. I do too. Give him a shot, man. He's a peacock. Let him fly. Let him go, man. Free Mike Glennon. There we go. Free Mike Glennon. I can't do a third season. I can do a third season as long as with him on another team like in Denver. That would be a fourth season, though. Mike. I could do a third season, but we're not going to release him now. He's not getting released. Daniel Jones, the second coming of Dave Brown. We all know that. Logic's finest. That's why it was Logic. Why don't you want 2 linemen with the top 2 picks that I hear from all of the Giant fans? Well, Connor, because I'm smart. I have a football brain. You can't constantly keep using high draft choices on linemen when you can potentially we could have traded for an lineman. We could have had a bookend right tackle and left tackle from some dude from Baltimore who went to Kansas City, and we could have had bookend tackles for a good 6-7 years. Your best choice is either try to trade for someone or find someone to free agent market because you're going to crapshoot with the offensive lineman. You need so much help on the defensive end position. It's not even funny. You have no linebackers because Blake Martinez, we don't know when he's going to come back or if he's going to come back to the Giants, but the Giants are going to waive him. Tate Crowder, why he's a nice player, is undersized to man the middle. Lorenzo Carter's gone. Cam Brown, he's a good spot player. Carter Coughlin's, like I said, Carter Coughlin fell off the bench and got hurt. Twisted his knee. Hasn't seen the field. You're going to need a tight end because you know that Evan Ingram's not back. And I've said this before. Caden Smith is maybe a third tight end at best. And people are like, well, they don't let him play. They don't let him play because they think the talent ahead of him is better, even when he was not injured. So you cannot just sit there and meander your picks into your first 2 picks when you have so many other holes that you need to fill. You want to use one of those picks, fine. You want to use a second rounder, that's fine. But there's too much defensive talent in this draft to not take a shot. Our pass rush is so bad. We need someone. Questionable means he's playing. Half the league is quit. You're right, Todd. It's doubtful. You don't want to be doubtful. If you're doubtful, you're normally not playing. You're questionable, then you're playing. Guarantee losing season next year with Jones. I agree. I don't disagree with that. What's up? Well, DJ is like, Frank, me, and Nikita. Always waiting for something. Yeah. But Frank actually had a ability to play defense. So Daniel Jones, I can't even say that. Fromm is nothing special, but easy to say. I don't want to hype anyone up, unproven players anymore. Well, that's a smart fan. Chill Daddy says 7 and 10. I don't know. I'm still saying, well, it could be 7. I'm still saying 6 to 7 wins. Bob Jones. We could have had Russ. He's going to waste the money on Kyle Rudolph and Leo. Kyle Rudolph, we can get under most of the cap, most of his contract back. He's likely one of the guys. Oh, I cut myself shaving. That's blood. That's blood, guys. I'm bleeding, but I still play. I play hurt. Yeah, Kyle Rudolph, we can get out for most of his contract. Leo, we can't even think about getting out of there. Can't even think about it. We'll give up 2 first-round picks for Wilson and the talks. Yeah, and that's the talk in sports media. Yeah, I can't give up 2 first-round picks for Wilson. I can't. We have so many other holes. It's just we just can't do it. Can't do it. If the new GM convinces Wilson to redo his contract where he gets little money now and more down the road, I think it's doable. The Giants have draft picks to make an up. Yeah, they do. But the problem is we have so many other problems. You can't just trade for one guy. That's my thing. No All-Pro is coming here to waste their last few. I agree. No, they're not. Why would you? I think it's a smokescreen for Miami, but so they have to prep for both quarterbacks. I would think that, Mr. Authentic, but like I said, you really can't. You can't lie anymore like you used to in reference to your injury reports. There used to be the whole thing where we wouldn't put people on the list. You would put people on the list. You would kind of say the injury was this and it's that. You have to be more concise, and now they go over medical records and stuff with the NFL. That goes back to the Belichick days. So I don't think it's a smokescreen. I think that Daniel Jones practiced today. They wouldn't put him on the field as a smokescreen. I mean that's because you could potentially hurt him more. Giants will not move on to Moans. They will be patient. How much more patient can you be? You're going into year 4. And he's shown the same progression for the last 2.5 years. And I've said it before, remove the 3 big games his rookie season. He's got 12 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, which is pretty consistent what he had last year and what he has now. Russell Wilson's going to Philadelphia. Watch that happen. Watch that happen. Jones is costing the Giants a lot of games. Defense and quarterback would have made a huge difference regardless of the offense and other problems. I've said this before. You have Russell Wilson on this team, even with this bad offensive line, because we all rank it by Pro Football Focus. I think you would have 3 more wins than you currently have. I'm honest. I'm just being honest about that. If Daniel Jones come back for year 4, I'd become a Raven Cardinals fan until the Giants get a new quarterback. No, you'll always be a Giant fan. You'll always be one. Jones is hurt. I call it down to play on Monday. I called it down to play on Monday. Okay. Sorry, I can't talk today. He's if he's hurt, that's I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's just see, because he practiced today. And because of medical protocol, he wasn't, he would not, they would not allow him to practice for liability reasons. Unpopular opinion, I think Gallman would have been more productive this year, and Saquon and Booker knows how to grind out yards. Isn't he with the 49ers? Because I saw he played this weekend. I liked Wayne Gallman, good downhill runner. He was like New Orleans Darkwa. I liked him too. Of course, he got hurt and never came back into the league. Tim, what do you think of LeBron James, and where would you rank him all time? He's not the GOAT. There's only one GOAT. I would rank him probably 4th, LeBron James, if you want my honest opinion. I got MJ, I got Wilt, I got Bill Russell, and then I put LeBron right about there. MJ never missed. And you could say that. And I watched MJ from North Carolina to all of his pros. When he was just a guy that just never missed. So it was Garrett's fault when DJ lowered his shoulders in the Cowboys game, got hurt. But that's right. Kitchen isn't to blame for DJ's getting hurt last game. Good point. Yes, it was Garrett's fault that we ran him in the end zone. It was Garrett's fault completely. This was a designed run. This play he got hurt on. That's true. I didn't think about that, but it's not. No. It's not Freddie Kitchen's fault. It's still Jason Garrett's fault. Oh my God. What you got here, Tyrone? Collins got us a Super Bowl. His parents didn't belong there, but we got there. We actually had a good team in 2000. It wasn't a bad team. We just went up against a great team. And I think that's a big thing. I was actually at that Super Bowl in Tampa. I've gone to 2 Giants Super Bowls, 86 and 2000. 2000 was great because I was in a skybox, which was awesome. And I got lit and don't really remember the third, fourth quarter. And after the Dixon punt return, kickoff return, I don't remember anything. It's all blank. Did we win? If Mike Glennon puts up a stinker, I'm going to defend him and say it's the offense. Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad plan. The next giant quarterback in the draft has to have a high ceiling. Drafting Jones, who was average at best, is a waste of a pick. I'd like to say you're wrong. I would like to. I like to say a lot of things, but I can't say you're wrong. Kerry Collins was very accurate. Also, also as a receiver's feet high and low above his hand. Kerry Collins was accurate to a point. He had some issues with accuracy early in his career in Carolina. He became more prolific when he hit the Giants after he got waived by the Saints. I think we go deep in the playoffs with those pieces. I missed something. Glennon to Sills is Sills is still in the practice squad. You got to feel bad for David Sills, though. David Sills, glamour boy, cover boy, everyone's favorite guy, David Sills. Everyone loved David Sills, Victor Cruz 2.0. David Sills, so awesome. Gets in a game, ball's thrown to him, he drops it, never seen him again. With the plethora of injuries, they are signing other receivers. Besides going to David Sills, who's been with the team for 2 years. Rudolph's not the answer. It's the only time Rudolph is the answer is when you say, and what was the red-nosed reindeer that helped pull Santa's sleigh? That's the only time. David Sills is a myth. He's like Bigfoot. And we all know Bigfoot's real. We all know Bigfoot's real. See? We all know it. We all know Bigfoot's real. So David Sills has to be real too. Oh my goodness. This is why I have a big desk. I got a really big desk. Oops. Ninjas. Wasn't me. I didn't spill that water. If my wife's listening, that wasn't water. Ninjas did it. An anomaly. An anomaly wrapped in a riddle. Jones doesn't throw down the field. He never scores like that. He doesn't score like that either outside the field. The defense is winning the games. Yeah, the defense is winning the games. Daniel Jones, he's got receivers deep, and you can actually see if you watch some of the footage of the Eagle game, he had some guys downfield, and he checked down. Just throwing it out there. The team is so bad. We have so many needs. We need 2 first-round picks to fix it. 2 first-round picks is not going to be enough. I wish it was going to be enough. So you're saying there's a chance Jones is playing. There's a chance. Just reminds me of Dumb and Dumber when she goes, this and this and not a chance and the hell and this and this. And he goes, but you're saying there's a chance. He's probably going to end up playing. I said that in the video. He'll probably end up playing. I don't think it's a smoke screen. I just think the media got wind of it, ran with it, and the Giants aren't going to deny it. Hutchinson was our first pick. You have a Neal. Yeah, that would be a nice draft, but you forgot Malik Willis. You're banned. You're banned. Because you forgot Malik Willis.
That phrase, trademark, not.
You need people like.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
No, you're not banned. I was just joking. I just wanted to use that button because I saw Mike Lee. Daniel Jones also has the ability to play defense if you really think about it. He might, yeah. You know what? He's also pretty good at special teams because if he throws deep, it's just like a punt. Fromm is way worse than Jake Jones. We don't know that. I don't know that. What if Daniel Jones can't play, Mike Glennon falls off the bus or gets sunburned, and Jake from State Farm comes in and he pulls a Mike White for one game? Then what do we say? I guarantee everyone that loved Daniel Jones is going to be like, oh my God, we should have had him. I got a message here. message here. What does this message say? I'm checking the message to make sure that it is not Giant related. Again, the computer is better. Still be working. Again, the computer better still be working this time. Yeah. Oh, my wife is watching. I did not really spill anything on the computer. I'm sorry, my love. I did not spill anything on my computer. I do apologize for that. Computer is not even near anything by near computer. Actually, DJ's first season will be tight end. Oh, see, there's the way. I didn't spill anything. I was joking, honey. I promise. If anyone's out there, send a towel to the house. I'll give you the address. If you can FedEx it, that'd be great. There we go here. Why did we give so many unproven players guaranteed? It's not that we gave unproven players a guarantee money. They are proven players. We gave so many injured players coming off of major injuries too much money. Dory Jackson, let's hope. Let's hope that his quad and everything is fine, but hopefully he comes back because he was starting to play well. Wilson will retire. He's not getting beaten to death by the career ender. I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. Bend not break defense can be effective. It's just something if you have somewhat of a path. It's true, but the problem with the bend not break defense is at times you break. And that's what you need to be concerned about. What do we got here, Grant? I hated Daniel Jones since the day he was drafted. Fire Gettleman, fire Judge, blow this entire organization up. Okay. Just for you.
Your bet.
Wait a minute. There we go. I blew it all up. I blew it all up for you. Oh my God. I got some things here that I'm like, oh my God. I was playing the Sean Connery. Oops. Well, that's not Sean Connery.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
And we know that's not Daniel Jones. I like Caden. Caden is a nice guy. I think Caden's a great guy. He's just not a good tight end. He's a third string tight end. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I wish I was a third string tight end. Third year and he's getting worse. I don't even need to read the rest of that because you're right. Let's stay with DJ another year with a healthy offense. Then that's going to be next year when he gets hurt. He needs one more year. Then he's going to get. Then we're going to give him an extension. We're going to need one more year after that. When does it end? Dear Lord, when does it end? I know you're done with Jones. You would rather trade for Wilson. If Wilson was a reasonable trade, if there was a reasonable trade for Wilson, yes, I would go with Wilson. But I'm going with Malik Willis. I gotta go with Malik, man. You know, it's what you know. I think it's the right direction. And of course, we've also made Malik Willis. Of course, is now.
Gotta get to work.
He's steaming Willie Beeman, man. That's what he is. That's Mr. Authentic out there. That's for you, my friend. You got me watching. You got me watching Any Given Sunday now. I mean, it's me, you're dreaming. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Okay, what do we got here? I know draft Malik. I didn't want Jones at 6, but we got him. Stuck with him. You can't trade picks. You got to rebuild, set up for next year's quarterback. In 2 years, he's our stopgap. That would be so bad if in 2 years Daniel Jones was our stopgap quarterback. I think I might have to. I remember who said it. I might have to go and become I might have to become a Cardinals man. I see the Giants coming out strong next season. Okay, well, we got to finish this season first. Can we do this season first? Where's our 1 wins with our backup? That's what we need, Cortez. That's what we need to get. This is the game. This is the win. Gallman's in Atlanta. He played. I saw that he played, though, in Atlanta. I saw he played in Atlanta. So thank you, Tyrone. I didn't know where he was. Interesting. Personally, I would put LeBron. I can't because of the fact that Wilt was a talent that they had never seen. Wilt scored 100 points in a game. I have a piece of the floor from Hershey. A piece of the court from that 100-point game. And he was his issue with Wilt Chamberlain was the fact that he got stuck playing in the same era with Bill Russell, and Bill Russell was on a better team. Just throwing that out there. I think most of the quarterbacks should get 4 years unless they're terrible. Well, okay, Daniel Jones has been pretty terrible at times. Couldn't stand MJ as a young. I hated MJ as a young Knicks fan too. A lot of depressing playoffs run when Jim sent us packing, but he is the GOAT, man. If you watched MJ in his prime, he is the GOAT. He's the GOAT of all GOATs. Seattle signed Peterson to the practice squad. I would take Peterson over Barkley any day. I don't know if I would take Peterson over. I mean, I don't know. The second year is when you come back from an ACL injury. That's what they say. I didn't know because I had an ACL, came back and tore it again the next year. But they always say the second year is when you start becoming yourself again. Jones could hurt those Cowboys the way he speared them. He could cause them some pain. What about the big O, Oscar Robinson? I liked Oscar. Oscar was a triple guy. I mean, he was a guy. He was another talent, and I would probably have Oscar Robinson in the top 10, top 15. I know the NBA did a list, but I don't know I haven't seen it. High five to Ron Dixon. The only thing I got against Jones is him coming from Duke. It's a complete waste of a pick, complete waste. Yeah. I mean, I can't say no. I wish, you want to say no. High five to Ron Dixon, man. I tell you, man, when he returned that kick, we were all like, yeah. And then we were all drinking and they forgot about the game. What do you think of Patrick Ewing? I'm a Nick fan. I was pumped when they won him in the lottery. He had a good career as a Nick. He outside of Willis Reed. He is the best Nick center they've ever had. I do think the issue is he never won anything, and that's always going to be his little bugaboo. And also he had guys like Hakeem, playing against him. So I mean, it was and like I said, there was that run in 2000, man, with him that it was just something else. But I mean, all-time great Nick, probably top 5 Nick, definitely a top 5 Nick. He would definitely be in my top 30 for NBA players as well. Thoughts on the game last night between the Knicks and the Nets? I don't think the refs stole the game from us. Yeah, he did travel a little bit, we used to say I used to play. I used to play street ball a lot. I don't play street ball anymore, but I used to. But people used to. There was a friend of mine, Brian McClellan. He used to sit there. He was actually a good double. He was a good Division I basketball player too. And he used to yell at people when they would travel. You go, listen, if you go, he used to scream, if you're going to go that far next time, take the bus. And I can still hear him screaming that at people. What's going on, Kareem? How you doing, my friend? What's going on? Welcome. At least you don't have Hurts. I don't think Jones is way better than Hurts. I'm sorry. I don't. They don't drop that ball. Jalen 2 doesn't drop that ball in the end zone or on the 1. We're crying in our soup. I had autumn squash soup the other day. That was really good. Scary Carry, man. Yeah. Who is the greatest Nick of all time? Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, you got the glide. That's a tough one. I got to come back to that one. If you want to talk about the greatest Nick of all time in a short period of time, a 2.5 run stretch, you got to go Bernard King. Bernard King, I mean, this is, like I said, he was literally the king of New York. We did not get Patrick Ewing. We did not win the lottery if Bernard King does not tear his knee that season, because he had willed the team into the playoffs for 2 years in a row under Hubie Brown. He tore his knee. We fell apart. That's why we were bad. We wouldn't get Patrick Ewing if he didn't tear his knee up. Kerry Collins had a real thing. Yeah, Kerry Collins did have a fumbling problem, but he fumbled in the pocket. He had a bad fumbling problem. I forgot about that. I do think Russell is going. I don't think they're going anywhere. I think Russell might go somewhere, but I don't think they're going anywhere. Anthony Mason. I loved Anthony Mason, man. I loved Anthony Mason. He was the guy. Allen Houston. No, Allen Houston was not an all-time Nick. Allen Houston had one big shot in the playoff, got a huge chunk of change, and it's now known as the Allen Houston contract. He never lived up to his contract. Not a bad Nick, but he's known for one big shot in the playoffs. And I think a lot of fans forget about that. I don't bash Allen Houston because I do think he was a good Nick, but he's not an all-time great Nick. Wow, dude, I got so many freaking chats here. Oh, thank you, Robert, for the super chat. All super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. What's up, my friend? What's up, man? I got a question. The star on the Cowboys' head, is it the logo or is it the rating? Thanks for your blog post. Oh, my God. They are a one-star team right now, the Cowboys. They are, and now they're having off-field problems. it's bad enough that they're having on-field problems and they're having off-field problems in the secondary that your safety then tries to roll Zeke and Dak under the bus by saying, hey, I was out partying with Dak and Zeke. I only had 4 shots. I do like that there was a logo or a 1-star rating. I'm going to steal that. We didn't see that. We didn't see that comment. I'm going to steal that, Rob. That's a good compliment. Let me see here. I got to go back up here. I'm trying to see where I left off here. I wish, let's see here. Oh, Kerry Collins was an alcoholic early in his career, hence the inaccurate arm. No, he was just inaccurate coming out of Penn State. I always tell the bad joke, Tyrone, and I did this on a podcast, and I got a lot of crap for it because I said that, I didn't like, I don't hate Kerry Collins, but I was never a big fan of Kerry Collins after we lost the game. And I said on the podcast, I said, I'm also not a big fan of him because I think he's a quitter. And the gentleman that was interviewing me goes, well, what do you mean you think he was a quitter? I said, well, you're an alcoholic and you stopped drinking. I said, to me, that's a quitter. Yeah. It went over like a ton of bricks. And actually, it went over pretty funny. People were like, I can't believe you just said that. Defensively, Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley. Yeah. Oak lived up to his name. Oak tree, when I put you to the test. Oak tree, when it comes to dancing, Morris is the best. All night long, worst to the best. Sorry, I got Purple Rain on the brain. Morris Day in the Time, man. Morris Day in the Time. You got some great Morris Day in the Time songs. Baby, don't get too comfortable because I really like to sleep alone. Put your data, you know about my data back. I love you, but you got to go. I love the Morris Day in the Time. I still do. Or from Paul's a Heineke. I would take that. I would take Len Pool of Heineke. Why not? Why not? I'm trying to get to some of all these comments here. We got a lot of comments today. Tim, you're a mess. Yeah, I didn't say I wasn't, did I? Yeah, but a radio station upstate New York wants me. It's funny. I talked to these guys today. Very nice guys. I talked to the station manager and the program director. Very nice guys. And I sent them my tapes and everything else. And I had to put some stuff together. And it was interesting because, like I said, yeah, we want you to do fill-ins. You could do fill-ins. I was like, oh, great. Right. And they explained to me exactly what a fill-in was. And then they're like, and it's going to be great because you're going to do overnights. And I'm thinking to myself, overnight. Okay. Because, I'm thinking like you're going out. So I'm thinking like overnight is like 10 to 3, 9 to 2. 12 to 6. And I asked them, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m.? I was like, okay. Yeah, that's going to work out real well. Luckily, I don't have a life. Georgetown, he was a beast at Georgetown. Then people forget you had Morning come in right after him. And what's his name? I can't remember his name. Matumbo. I can't remember. Matumbo. Thank you. I had to think of his name. I had to think of that name for a second here. Oh, geez, the X-Man. That was a trade. That was a trade that should have never happened. That was a trade that should never have happened. Giants had a lot of reclamation projects in Kiki Vandeweghe. Yeah, that's the problem I said with Kiki Vandeweghe with the Knicks. And that's what the Knicks kind of remind me of the Giants at times because the Giants have these reclamation projects. The Knicks used to do it all the time. They would take former All-Stars and be like, we're going to turn them around. We're going to show the talent. Same with first round. We're going to show the talent that no one else can get. That never worked out. The Giants kind of do the same thing. Kerry Collins had a great career. Like I said, I just jokingly talk about Kerry Collins. I'm jokingly talking, but he had a great Giant career. Jungle Love. That's another one. Jungle Love. Ow. Oh. I think I want to know you. That was another great song, Jungle Love. Purple Rain, man. Underrated movie in reference to coming out with songs. I was never a big Prince. I'm not a big Prince fan. This is a good question by John. Okay, John. Who do you dislike more, Shermer or McAdoo? Oh, that's what's the funny thing is? I have to say that I hate Shermer more. Ben was at least 11-5, took us to the playoffs. I think he got a bum rap that second season. I think they used him as a scapegoat to get rid of him after the whole Eli Manning debacle blew up in their face. I don't blame him for that. I'm not sure he really lost the locker room, but it was Shermer, man. Shermer just came in. He was so pompous. He lost. He lost his first starting game. Yeah, it was in Cleveland, but he lost consistently. And anytime that he won, it was like his shit didn't stink. And that was the problem with him. And if when he lost, everyone else in the press corps was stupid except for him to ask the questions. Well, I'm not even going to say that name because I'm not going to ever talk about that trade from Toronto. Never going to talk about that. I don't even know why I clicked on that comment. With the play and announcing games, it's a glide. Don't forget Linsanity was a great run for about 4 weeks. Then he tore his meniscus and he sat out the playoffs. And honestly, I think he could have came back for the playoffs because I've had a torn meniscus. It's like a 2-week process, especially with the arthroscopic surgeries they have now. I think he didn't want to risk his career or what he thought was going to be a career. Water break. Biggest stub from I didn't see the 75 list. I didn't see it. Someone sent it to me. I didn't get a chance to read it. Kerry Collins to Tennessee, 10-1. That's right, Kerry to Tennessee. That's where he went. I remember he went somewhere. Shermer or Judge. Oh, Mike Lee, you know how to stir the shit. You had to stir it. They say there are no ties in sports, and there's no crying in baseball. But I'm gonna have to. That's a tie on that one. There's a tie on. That's a tie. There's a tie. That's a tie. Right there with you, Ben McAdoo. Every one of his wide receivers got hurt. And yeah, the McAdoo thing, man, it was, I still believe this day, Geno Smith in that Raider game was not completely his call. Because you want to check out the young quarterback. We had just drafted a young quarterback. And you say you want to give a young quarterback a shot and give a 27-year-old or whatever he was, Geno Smith, who was a starter with the Jets, a chance. I don't blame him. And I think he got the sign-off from management. The problem was Eli Manning effed it all up for him because Eli Manning says, I don't want to just make an appearance. I want to play. And that screwed the whole thing up. So the press from that was so bad that people were like, oh, yeah. It was just. Now, I can't give Patrick Ewing. I'm going to have to, to me, if you're looking at a guy, you got to look at guys that won championships. In a lot of ways, I got to go with Frazier. If I'm looking at the greatest Knicks ever. Linsanity did have some problems. His left hand was an issue. Couldn't go left. Vince Carter wasn't on the 75 list. Vince Carter, to me, was a great scorer with Toronto, but he has more, his forte is more longevity than anything because the dude's a freaking nature, man. Anyone find it funny how the Nets fans chanting MVP for KD are completely drowned out by the Knicks fans booing? They said that there was so many Knicks fans there, it might as well have been a Knicks home game. I thought that was pretty crazy. One has to go for Isaiah. One has to go Isaiah Thomas or Phil Jackson. You got to get rid of both of them. One has to go. You got to get rid. Phil Jackson. He did get the unicorn. He didn't do much else. I mean, Isaiah Thomas though, with the bad trades and the Stephon Marbury thing and the Anuka Sanders Brown thing. I mean, that's just you don't even want to get into that. That more than gave this team a black eye. The Colts wanted Eli so bad. They did? I didn't know that. Did they want to when he retired, or did they? I would say the Chargers drafted him originally. It wasn't the Colts. The Chargers thing, man, was okay. Now I see what you're talking about. The Chargers thing, man, he was smart not to go to the Chargers. I mean, some people say that it was the way that he did it. But John Elway was 10 times worse back in the 80s when he said, I'm not going to Baltimore. and honestly, he really didn't go into a much better situation when he went to Denver. But it was Jim Irsay. He didn't want to be in that organization, kind of like a James Dolan. Oh, wow, all of a sudden all these messages flew up. What happened there? Sherman and McAdoo were both bad, but Sherman was just terrible. Sherman was god-awful. I didn't know they wanted Eli in 2020. I'm surprised Eli didn't want to play. I was at the 2017 Chargers game when Odell Beckham, Brandon Marshall, I believe, and Sterling Shepard got hurt in the same game. I remember that game. That was a bad game. After Luck returned, I miss what's his name? I miss Oliver Luck. If we do go Wilson in the first round, what do you want to do with the other pick? Offensive line or Jordan Davis from defensive tackle? if you're going for Willis, I'm still saying I got to go with the defensive end. I don't know whom yet, but I got to go with the defensive end. And then I'm going to go offensive tackle probably in the second round. And then I'm going to try to fill it, unless there's a linebacker that I really like. I liked William Gay Jr. in this draft. I did a whole video about him. He's actually starting to play really well. Arch Manning was 3-4 years older, so we could draft the upcoming draft. Can we lie about his age? Can we just like, get him a different birth certificate? No one will notice. He'll be a better quarterback. Phil is overrated. I could have coached the Bulls and the Lakers. The problem with Phil, people saying Phil Jackson is overrated. It's not because of the fact that he did not have talent late in teams, but a lot of times when you have teams with so much talent as that, it's how you work the egos. And that whole situation he had with Kobe and Shaq, that was masterful what he did in LA under those years. The Colts already had Peyton. Yeah, they weren't going to get Eli. Did you like Mahomes coming out of college? I did like Mahomes coming out of college. I liked him also because his dad used to be a relief pitcher for the Mets. So I like when kids that are coming out of school have family members with a professional athlete background because they know and understand what it takes to be a professional athlete at times. And I thought his skill set would I didn't think it was going to be like this, but I did think his skill set would translate well into the NFL. I don't think anyone thought that it was going to be like this. Dave Gettleman, let's train him for a turkey hero. We don't have to trade him. We're going to fire him. Didn't Eli want to play for the Colts because how they handled Mech's injury after drafting him? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. I do remember all this now. You're right. Dwayne Harris got hurt. Oh, Dwayne Harris. Good punt returner, man. Dwayne Harris. He did get hurt in that game, too. Oh, my God. How good was former Redmen Chris Mullins? Chris Mullins, he was part of Run TMC over in Golden State when he came into the league, after he came into the league. He was good. I mean, like I said, I will never call them the Storm. They'll always be the St. John's Redmen. And it was never a derogatory thing to Native Americans either, that term. But Chris Mullins in college at St. John's and the battles that, he had with Georgetown and Pearl Washington. Legendary stuff, man. Legendary stuff. Linebacker over O-line. I got to go linebacker over O-line because you know what? The fact is we haven't drafted a linebacker since. We haven't drafted a good linebacker since. And someone's going to say Jesse Armstead. Waiting for that. The Giants are so conservative. They don't see drafting the Liberty kid. Giants have and I agree, Darius. And we've talked about this ad nauseum, I think. Giants want a pocket passer, 6'3", 6'4", 225, and be able to scan the field. And Eli Manning, statuesque, Phil Simms, a Y.A. Tittle. You need a Chuck and Charlie Conley. You need someone such as that to lead this organization. But we got to get into the 21st century. It's time. We need a steaming Willie Beeman. Third year with McAdoo would have been with Mahomes. Yeah, you think about that sometimes. If he got his way, what would have happened? Zach Attack meant the Colts and wanted Eli after Luck retired. Yeah, I know. I figured that out. It took me a minute. I'm a little slow sometimes. We all know that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Dwayne Harris was fun. No, he was a good punt returner, man. He also had some big catches for the Giants. Name a quarterback prospect that you were wrong about. Daniel Jones. No, I said Daniel Jones sucked coming out of college. I didn't want Daniel Jones. I've told the story a million times, John, that when you heard the reports that there was a team in the top 10 that was looking at Daniel Jones. And I remember it was the day before the draft, and I said, oh, dear God, it's the Giants. It's the Giants. Quarterback that I have been wrong about. I haven't really prognosticated many quarterbacks, to be honest, because of the fact that I mainly do Giant stuff. So we had Eli Manning. You draft Daniel Jones. Chris Mellon's best years of the Pacers. Yeah, he actually had some good years. He had some good years with Reggie. I hated the combination. Since Matthias Kiwanuka. Well, Matthias Kiwanuka was a defensive lineman. He was a defensive end. That's when the Big East used to be a beast. The Big East, man, was the beast. I was at the Reggie Miller game. And I've said this a million times. I was about 23 rows up, and I wanted to run down the court and punch Spike Lee in the back of the head. because he kept egging on Reggie, and Reggie just kept hitting shot after shot after shot. And we lost the game we should have won. I saw a picture of Mullins at the arena at my school. I was just realizing he was shooting over number 23 from North Carolina. Who was that kid in North Carolina? So someone I think was pretty good. I remember the Giants won and Corey Littleton. Oh yeah, that's right. And I said he was going to be Ogletree 2.0, and I was right. You're right. I wanted Corey Littleton. I liked Corey Littleton. I liked Corey Littleton a lot. I thought he would have been good on the Giants defense. Yeah, it turned out to be totally wrong. I totally want to be 100% wrong. I was wrong about Darnold. I wanted him to be drafted by the Giants. I didn't like Darnold. You know what's funny? Outside of Josh Allen, I liked, and you go back and watch the videos, I liked nobody in that draft class. Hated Josh Rosen. Oh, God, I hated Josh Rosen. I said Josh Rosen came to New York, it would be the biggest disaster in the world. I understood the Barkley pick because I did not think that Darnold had the intestinal. I think Darnold had talent, but I did not think he had the intestinal fortitude to play in New York. The only quarterback I liked was Josh Allen. He did nothing. Tommy Frazier, man. Tommy Frazier was a great college quarterback. Nebraska, correct? If I'm not mistaken. He was something else. He was a guy, and I thought he was going to do something in the league, but I don't think the league at that point in time was ready for the likes of Tommy Frazier. And also, he hurt his leg. He got injured, and he had a circulatory problem in his leg. I remember Tommy Frazier, man. Wow. So I think that's a blast from the past. Nick's Greater Jing Bing Bong. Oh my goodness. In college, Vince Carter wasn't even projected to be very good. His teammate, Antoine Jamerson. Antoine Jamerson was a good pro, too. Was a top player in the country. He didn't do much. Antoine Jamerson did some stuff in the league. Vince came out of nowhere to shine. Vince was a first-round draft choice. Vince, I mean, I don't think anyone thought Vince was going to be the player that he is or was, but, you know, he had talent coming out of school. I hate it. I hate Reggie Miller. Josh Allen is frozen. Let it go. Let it go. Who remembers Vince Young on the – yes, because, well, I remember Vince Young on the Eagles because you know what? That was the dream team. That was the dream team. That was the Eagles. Well, they had all this talent. Yeah, it didn't work out too well, didn't it? Yeah, he got a blood clot. Thank you, Mr. Authentic. I couldn't remember what happened to him. I remember he had a blood clot. Mr. Authentic, you should just jump on the stream, man. You just let me send you the link, and you should just jump in live here and talk. You know, you probably got it all set up in the studio. I was so hoping that Lamar was going to drop us to the second round, but that would not. Yeah, I liked Lamar Jackson coming out of Louisville because, like I said, I used to watch a lot of Louisville games because of Rutgers and everything else, and I liked Lamar Jackson, but I've always said it, and I said it before. It's the accuracy which is going to be his killer, and I'm going to tell you, he's progressed more in his career than I ever thought that he would at any point in time. I mean, I never expected this. Like I said, I wanted the Giants to draft him. I thought they were going to draft him. Other than Malik Willis, I like Pickett. I like the kid from Pitt. I like the kid from Pitt. I do. I know the Giants scouted him. I just think that Malik Willis, and I know everyone says you're always talking about Malik Willis. I just think that Malik is a 21st century quarterback. And the problem is the Giants are still stuck in the 20th century. They're still stuck in the 80s. They're still stuck. And the worst part is I wish they were more stuck in the 80s with Randall Cunningham instead of being stuck in the 80s with Phil Simms, because the league has progressed more at this point in time. I think the Lions will pick Malik. The problem is there's a lot of teams that they have Malik going to. They have I've heard the Lions. I've heard, of course, the Giants. I've heard Denver. There's a lot of teams. There's a lot of chat. I mean, like I said, it's the fans that are more down on Malik Willis than the actual pro scouts are. When I saw the 2018 draft, the prospect draft, just personally, I could tell Josh and Lamar were going to be good. There was something about Josh Allen, but he again, accuracy problem. I think Josh Allen had all the talent in the world, But like I said, it was an accuracy problem. The same thing with Lamar Jackson. I could never tell you. I thought that Josh Allen was going to be Josh Allen, or turn out to what he's. I never thought that. I thought he was going to be good, but I never thought he was going to be like this. Joe Jobs loves most rotations. He must be the Sixers' backup head coach. Listen, I sat through the process. I sat through the process courtside many nights for the Sixers for 5 years. And I laugh because I remember when they started winning that there was this old gentleman sitting next to me, and he had been out to all the games with me because I talked to him multitudes of times. And he looked at me and he goes, "Where were all these mother blankers when we were losing?" That just stuck with me. That just stuck with me this whole time. And I still remember that because he was probably like in his 70s. I just love it because he's looking at me like, "Where were these mother effers?" And then he didn't use mother effers, he used the other word. But I was just like, I don't know, dude, man. It's like, I was sitting next to you. In the 80s, I hated Joe Montana. So did I. As older, I got a king to obviously respect him. One of the best I've ever seen play quarterback. Joe Montana is Jerry Rice killed the Giants. You know, it's fine. Joe Montana, even going to when he went to KC, he was an organizational changer. KC was never as good as they were until they got Montana. And I've talked about this, Mr. Authentic, because you can authenticate this. See what I did there? That he was a guy that you could put in and he could elevate his team. And we had this conversation about quarterbacks, how I think it sometimes, and I've said this before, and I'm not going to ever apologize for it. I think some people don't understand football or don't know football if they think, and I always love it because it's always people that never played football. Football is a team sport. It's a team sport. Yeah, no shit. It's one of the dumbest statements I ever heard. But a quarterback, out of all positions, all 22 positions on that team, not counting special teams, can elevate a team and lift the team. May not win a championship, but can put them in a position to win games. And there has been multitudes of quarterbacks who have played with bad offensive lines, bad defenses, bad wide receivers, bad running backs that move their teams into the playoffs. That's why I get so upset when I hear, well, Daniel Jones doesn't have this. Daniel Jones doesn't have this. Michael Vick had nothing. Peyton Manning had nothing. Y.A. Tittle in the 60s won an MVP on two aging Giant teams and went to 2 championships games, lost both of them, but he had nothing at times. He had no offensive line at times. Dan Marino, class act Dan Marino, willed his teams, Miami teams in the playoffs when he had nothing around him. I talk about Scott Mitchell, even going back to the Detroit Lions when he had that one big season, he threw 4,000 yards. Chris Miller of the Falcons had one big season that he had nothing around him, but he led his team. Steve Berline did the same thing with the Falcons. I could go on and on and on. So a quarterback can be the catalyst for a team without having massive talent around him. And that's my PSA for the day. The Eagles, I think, want Malik because supposedly they're scouting to went to Old Miss Liberty game. You know what? I would hate if Malik went to Philadelphia. I think I would cry if he went to Philadelphia. It was a major letdown for me. I stopped watching college football because of what happened with Tommy Frazier. Yeah, and Brooklyn died in a plane crash. I forgot about that right before. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you was it a plane crash you died in? Yeah, that was. What do you think of number 99 for Auburn, the big defensive tackle? Would you rather him than King next year? I don't want any defensive tackles. Do I like Howell or Carroll? No. I like Malik Willis and I like Pickett. Randall Cumberland and Warren Moon, both great. I forget about Warren Moon, too. I forgot about Warren Moon. Warren Moon was another guy, run and shoot in Houston. Nothing around him offensively, really. You had like Ernest Gibbons, and then you had, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. Not going to get into it. Yeah, we got to set that up for sure. Yeah, we'll set that up. We'll definitely set that up. Toughness versus availability. Ooh, I like that. Jeff Hostetler, where are you now when they need you? The Hoss team. You know what's funny about Jeff Hostetler? Everyone forgets the last game of the season in the 90 season against New England, where Bill Parcells ripped his team because they played so horrid. They still won the game, but they played horrible. Jeff Hostetler got ripped that day, and he really showed something in the playoffs after that. It's hard to predict a quarterback success coming out of college. It's a much faster game. The game has to slow down. I can tell you this, going from high school to college, and I went from Division III and then Division I, there's such a big difference. I've seen it in the pros, but I could never imagine the speed difference, seeing it in its totality on the field. Lawrence Taylor, and he did. It was what's his name? Leonard Marshall. Well, if it isn't the GOAT, that would be me, Lorenzo. You know that, Mr. Hernandez. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? What's going up with you? How you been? I miss Armando. Where the hell has Armando been? Justin Fields is getting killed in Chicago, but they played better one on the field. Did anyone see that run a couple weeks ago before he got hurt, where he ran for like a 40-yard touchdown? There was no way in hell he should have gotten that end zone, and he did. Quarterback touches the ball most. Facts. Straight up. Dan had 2 marks for. He did. Well, he had Clayton and Duper. But also talking about the fact that while he had talent, he had no defense. He had no defensive talent around him. He had no running back. Tony Nathan at one point was like his go-to guy. Tony Nathan. Who remembers Tony Nathan? Reggie Cobb. All those bad Miami running backs. Ricky Williams. That was after Marina, by the way. That was Jay Fiedler. We do not pick a quarterback this year. Maybe we'll work on building line next year. You would have to hire someone like Kurt Warner as a quarterback coach that better mentor the crowd. I think Kurt Warner would actually be a really good quarterback coach. I don't know about Chris Sims. I met Chris Sims. I worked with Chris Sims. I was in Tampa Chris Sims' rookie year. Liked him coming out of Texas. 2nd round pick. Kurt Warner, I think, would be a good quarterbacks coach. There's the story goes that Eli in the Baltimore game is getting the bejesus beat out of him. He's making mistake after mistake. And old Tom went over to Kurt and said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to put you in." And Kurt said, "No, not going to do it. Because if you take this kid out, you're going to wreck his confidence. You got to leave him in. And if you're going to take him out, you got to take him out for the rest of the season. I'm not going to do it to the kid." So the legend goes. Oh, what do you got here? Whoops. Authentic, another dude who's a beast when it comes to giant content. Yes, we're all beasts. I tell you, people asked me the other day, and it was funny, though, because I put it in an email. And I'm like, oh, geez, if this gets out. They asked me, you don't watch giant content, and they rattle off a list of names of people that I said I don't like. And I don't like them for various reasons, I guess. And he asked me, who do you like? And I said, that's really funny that you say that. Because I was talking today to the 2 people I actually like. And I said, that is Mr. Authentic and Bad Dog. And they're like, well, why don't you like these other people? And I said, because of the fact that I think a lot of these other people pander to the audience to try to get, and I've said the clicks, the likes, the bleeps, and the bloops. And I think these 2, speak their mind, and it may come from fandom, but they speak their mind so you understand that they are coming from a right spot. They are not coming from a spot where they're trying to be malicious. They're not trying to be facetious. They're not only, and I like it because they're not only speaking their fandom, but they're speaking it in logical sense and logical football knowledge. And I think that's what some channels, and like I said, I used to watch when I first started, I used to watch other YouTubers. I really did. And it pissed me off because people say stupid shit. And people say I say stupid shit, but I don't care because I'm intelligent. And that's me being sarcastic. People don't, someone put that out there, and I'm being sarcastic. But it's just this thing. If you want to have a case in point and you want to have an argument and you want to say something, to me, it needs to be grounded in fact. And I think that Mr. Authentic, and I call him Mr. Authentic because I think he deserves that. Like I have Mr. Lewis. I think he deserves that moniker. And Mr. Bad Dog, those are the 2 people that I sometimes watch and I'll sometimes jump into the streams with, because of the fact that it's not that they have opinions that are similar to mine or agree with mine, but they have opinions that could be different than mine, but are actually based in football knowledge. That's just my spot. Hostetler or Rutledge? It's got to be Hostetler. Rutledge was horrible. Rutledge, of course, he had the big pass in the playoffs. He held the ball real well kicking. I loved Hostetler. I met him at West Virginia football camp stand-up guy. Hostetler's a good kid. He actually crossed the line. He crossed the line during the strike because he had a kid that was in the hospital. And the team actually supported him crossing the line. What do we got here? Saw a mock draft the other day that ended with Neal and King plus the guard from Texas A&M in the second round. What a dream. That is a dream. It's a dream. Dream believer and a homecoming queen. Sorry, I'm doing the monkeys. Wow, I'm old. I'm old. Now I got to get into Ice-T. Slow word. I pulled the trigger long. I can't sing that song because there's too many bad words in it. Dan Marino regularly threw for 500 yard plus. Daniel Jones needs 3 games to equal that. Boomer Esiason. I liked Boomer Esiason. I liked him coming out of Maryland. I met him in Maryland. I met him at a banquet. He's really like blonde. Back in the day too, man. It's like white hair. It's like almost like an albino. Kenny O'Brien was a better quarterback. Kenny O'Brien was actually a really good quarterback at times. He was just on some bad Jet teams, but he really was a good quarterback. What about sweeps, bleeps? And that's where I stole that from, Mike Lee. You know, but don't worry. I love this. And then it goes around your desk, man. And you can make him spin around and rotate. And then the arms. The arms go. It's greatest toy ever, man. Greatest toy ever. Tim loves certain channels that use Google. What does that mean? Google. Channels that use Google. I can use Google. You gotta have a mind. You don't need to salute me, friend, because it's true. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true, and that's the one thing I always tell people. You will always get the honest truth out of me, right or wrong, good or bad or indifferent. I will always tell you what I think. You may not like it. You may not like me, but I don't care. Sorry. Why don't you like me? I always love people that, why don't you like me? I don't care. People don't like me. It doesn't bother me. I always say, I got enough friends. I don't need more friends. Friends are trouble. Friends always get me in trouble. My wife always says it's me that gets people in trouble, but I think it's the people I hang out with. I'm just throwing that out there. Just throwing it out there a little bit there. There are a lot of other Giant channels that are blind hope fans who don't understand football. They follow the action, but don't understand the techniques of the game. Logic's finest. It's accompanied up with Logic's finest again. You're right. You're 100% right. 100%. 1,000%. Who is the worst at the position? Billy Price or the punter? Riley Dixon. Riley Dixon, man. Riley Dixon almost cost us the game, so I'm going to go with Riley Dixon. What's up, my friend? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. What do you got here, Isaiah? What's up, Tim? Do you think quarterbacks had better stats during the 60s than Daniel Jones? Yeah, man. They actually had some guys that, yeah. They are guys that had better stats. Go back and look at Y.A. Tittle's stats his last 2 years with the Giants. He had much better statistics. Won an MVP. Well, let's see here. Kenny O'Brien and Freddie McNeil, Altoon. Oh, Altoon, man. Problem with Altoon, he had the concussions. And Freddie McNeil, man, he's another guy that just his career he was such a high point in his career. He was such a good running back and was just, I mean, the Jets in my mind will always be remembered from the AJ Dewey game and the playoffs in Miami with the multitudes of interceptions by Richard Todd. That will always stick in my head. If Hutchinson, Neal, and then Leo are all there with the Giants pick first, which one? I got to take Hutchinson. I'm taking Hutchinson. That's why I like you, T. Well, thank you. I like you too, Jan. I like a lot of people. There's a lot of people that I like. You know what's funny? And I never thought about this because I actually now have like personal relationships with people that I met on YouTube. And just kind of weird to me. I mean, Dom, NFL Punt Talk across the punt back. I really consider Dom a friend. And like I said, I met Dom because he was I don't want to say fan because I think fan, that's just a weird word, fan. He was a subscriber to the channel, and then we started talking offline, and then we all of a sudden started doing the channel together. We started doing podcasts together. So I mean, I think it's like I said, you never know when you're gonna find. Oh, I gotta bring my other mouse. My mouse died. You never know what's gonna happen. Last stream you were talking about Anthony. What happened to Anthony? Who's Anthony? Did something happen to Anthony? Is Anthony a subscriber? Yeah. Tittle did have 36 touchdowns in one season. You're right. You're very right. We really should have gotten Presley Harvin last year as a puncher. Yeah, we should have. He is a beast. He is. Leonard Williams is a very lazy player. Leonard Williams, and I've said this a million times, plays for Leonard Williams. He doesn't play for the New York Giants. He plays for Leonard Williams. 100%. Not a legacy. No, man, to me, it's going to be the multi. You see, you were probably too young to watch that game. I think it was 82 playoff game, but that was a bad game. Bad game. Have you talked about Kadarius Toney's best game came when Mike Glennon targeted him 13 times? Well, yeah, I actually talked about it in my video today. Oh, you posted that too. That's right. I talked about my video. I do my videos the night before a lot of times, so sometimes I forget. Yes, and I've said the same thing. How is it the fact that Kadarius Toney's best game was with Mike Glennon, but he goes back to Daniel Jones and it kind of goes kablooey? Jake from State Farm. Oh, yeah. 10 receptions, 100 yards, 3 targets, 80 yards, DJ. 10 receptions. Yeah. It's interesting that he was the most targeted Giant wide receiver of the season in that game. And most of those targets, if not all those targets, were from Mike Glennon. But people don't want, people don't want to talk about that. Jones went 0-8 when he finally targeted. Yeah. Oh my God, you're right. He did. I forgot about that. Unleash Tony. Unleash the beast. Free Mike Glennon. I love the free Mike Glennon, man. But like I said, to me, Mike Glennon he's what you got.
That phrase. You can't keep me cooped up in here, okay? I am a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
We gotta let him fly, man. We gotta let Mike Glennon fly. He's a peacock, man. Let him fly. Let him get out there. Let him do his thing. You gotta love the king of the almost sack.
King of the almost sack.
I tell you, man, I love that because my other favorite one, of course, is
Hear ye, come one, come all, for it's the king of the covered sack.
It is the king of the covered sack. Blame Jason Garrett. That's the way Tony's best game was. It's all Jason Garrett's fault. We all know it's Jason Garrett's fault. Global warming, Jason Garrett's fault. COVID, Jason Garrett. Inflation, Jason Garrett. We all know it. It's all everything's Jason Garrett's fault. If Mike Glennon was more aggressive than Jones, he was more aggressive. The first play to Glennon was a deep end. And I've said that a million times about Mike Glennon. You got to, I said this a million times. How many times have I said on streams or in videos, if it was me, the first throw of the game, I'd take a shot. Shock the hell out of the team. Take a shot. Just send them down the field. Just send everyone long and just shock them for a minute. Because you're going to check down most of the game. DJ better not spear. When he's going to get killed. He's going to get killed a lot. Did you see Colt McCoy destroy Seattle? And why does Washington always win when we win important? That's the thing, though. If you actually look at it, all the teams that were ahead of us in the playoffs basically won. Giants got good speed receivers, but you got to throw them the ball. You do have to throw them the ball. You're right. You got to connect. You have to connect. What percentage would you leave that Jones can get it? What percentage would you leave Jones can get it together? Like for a career with the Giants, I would say it's 50-50 at best. I mean, at best. The Great Depression, Jason Garrett. Travago, Jason Garrett. I like that Hotel Travago. Oh, my God. Let's see here. Jason Garrett was a grassy when JFK got. I knew it, Jason Garrett. It's Jason Garrett, man. Everything. It wasn't ninjas that ruined my computer. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to, harp on the poor guy. It was Jason Garrett. He came to my house and spilt a beer on my computer. It wasn't ninjas. It was Jason Garrett. That's going to be a trivia question. Jones' excuse the first year in the system, O-line, head coach, coordinator, system, tight end, turf, weather. It's our excuse here, Daniel Jones. It wasn't my fault. I've done everything for you. Why don't you like me? Why don't you like me? Last year, Giants beat Seattle, Washington beats the Pittsburgh. Yeah, you're right. It was the same thing last year. 65% of the Masters complete percentage. Now, I'm saying 50-50 at best. 5% of the just puts it all together for the Giants. We're talking putting it all together for the Giants. I'm literally going to say Daniel Jones is going to be like 35%. I say he's going to 50-50 to continue his career. Giant receivers don't get separation. Jones can't throw beyond 24 yards. So how effective can they be? And they're all injury prone and have butterfingers. Jones also doesn't look deep ever. McKinney I think McKinney should go to the Pro Bowl. I just voted for Kevin Zeidler. I posted it on my Twitter page. I liked Kevin Zeidler. I still like Kevin Zeidler. I think it's interesting that Kevin Zeidler got less money. What is this going here? Oh, okay. I got a guy that's going to do a Malik Willis thing. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm checking that out right now. I'm checking that out. I shouldn't be checking stuff out. I should be concentrating on the stream. I'm trying to be professional. You can't blame Daniel Jones. It's not his fault. It's not his own football he's throwing. It's the league football. Yeah, I know. In the backyard, man, my Nerf ball. I should be Daniel Jones. What do we got here? Cowboys and Mets. Jason Garrett's fault. Giants starting Geno Smith over Eli Manning. Jason Garrett's fault. The whole 2001 Super Bowl. Jason Garrett. Just throwing that out there. I have a feeling. Can't blame Jones. It's not his fault he's throwing the ball. It's Jason Garrett's football. Hey, all right, guys, we're gonna close this out in 2 minutes here. 2 minutes. We're gonna have the 2 minute countdown. Jones needs to throw 0% to people he can. Is that a Pro Football Focus stat? I'm thinking that's a Pro Football Focus stat. Oh my God, Saeed, I'm sorry. Gotta give you the rim shot. Gotta close you out there. I just love it though. Jason Garrett's fault. It's all Jason Garrett's fault. Everything's Jason Garrett's fault. I know you don't like next gen strat, but according to them, Jones cannot throw left beyond 25 yards. I didn't know that. It's not that I don't. I don't like next gen stacks. I don't, but because I think some of them are stupid. Some of them are good. Some of them are stupid. But I think they're a hell of a lot better than Pro Football Focus. Joe Pisarcik fumbling, Jason Garrett's fault. It's all Jason Garrett's fault, man. Everyone's got to learn that it's Jason Garrett's fault. I'm actually going to cut out here early, guys, because I want to play with my toy. Evan Ingram, do you like me? I like Evan Ingram. I like you, Evan Ingram. I like you. I don't like the real Evan Ingram. I like you. Uh-oh. Segue, Tim. The man from Atlantis, Super Train, American Greatest is a Hero. Believe it or Super Train. That was a bad TV show. I don't remember Man from Atlantis. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Never thought I could be so free. I've always wanted to be a lounge singer. Actually, I've always wanted to be Elvis Presley. Oh, I like you. I'll buy you a Cadillac, Logic's finest. Oh, Logic, you gonna try to throw things at me again? Why did the Bears trade at first for Rick Meyer? Because they were stupid. Oh no, Jason Garrett. It's all Jason Garrett's fault. It's all Jason Garrett. How about Sean Payton? Sean Payton going to the Saints and leaving the Giants? Jason Garrett's fault. We all know that. We all know it's Jason Garrett's fault. Giants losing the ice ball. Jason Garrett's fault. Global warming. Jason Garrett's fault. People do not realize for a receiver not to drop a pass, you need to actually hit them in the hands and not force them to catch every catch. Automan was a bad show, man. But I think it was only on for one season. But Automan was, back in the day, that was like the shit with the special effects. I remember because they had all the blue and white things. Baywatch Nights or Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones needs to go on Baywatch Nights. Because that's when David Hasselhoff and the guy that was the guy that was the cop became private detectives at night. Oh, Jesus. Biden win the election? Jason Garrett's fault. My stock's tanking today? Jason Garrett's fault. Jets and Giants should have an annual toilet bowl at the end of each season. They probably should. That's Jason Garrett's fault. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. That was a good show. What was the show with Roy Scheider? And it was the submarine show, Sequest. That was actually the last show filmed on the Universal lot in Orlando, Florida? Trivia question for you, just in case anyone ever asks. Just in case anyone asks. Jason Garrett, Scapegoat. Jason Garrett. I saw we already had that one. Max Headroom. Max Headroom was another one. Was on one of those weird shows that was only on for like a year because they did the guy from the commercial with the what's his name with the that was a weird show. That was a weird show. Giants screwing the first place. Jason Garrett's fault. Giants not taking Malik Willis. Jason Garrett's fault. Airwolf. Jan Michael Vincent, man. That was good. Damnation Alley. That was a movie, man. I actually liked Damnation Alley with George Papar and Jan Michael Vincent. When they had the trucks that would go across and the Damnation Alley. That was actually, and then the kid that was the kid in the movie was from Bad News Bears. Was Kelly Lee from Bad News Bears. That was a good. I liked that movie. The cockroaches. Cockroaches cracked me up. Blue Thunder, good movie, bad TV show. All right, Saeed, have yourself a good night. I'm gonna sign out here as well. I'm gonna sign out a little late. I can talk about old TV shows and movies all day long. Fall of the USSR. Jason Garrett's fault. We all know it's Jason Garrett's fault. If you do Airwolf, you have to do Street Hawk. Street Hawk though was with the guy that was the singer though, and I can't remember his name. BJ and the Bear, but the guy with the singer, who was the guy? He was a singer. He was a singer first, and then he did Street Hawk. You have to do also if you want to go way back, you do the Renegades with it was a gang show and with Patrick Swayze. It's the Renegades. BJ and the Bear, and his best friend Bear. BJ and McKay and his best friend Bear. Then you have Dukes of Hazzard and with Sheriff Lobo. Tim, we need videos of you bashing the other fan bases like your first video ever. Wow, man, that's going back. Yeah, I could do that. TJ Hooker, man. Good night, guys. Good stream. Street Hawk. Rip off a Knight Rider. Street Hawk's a good name. Custer's Last Stand. Jason Garrett's fault. I think that has to be the new sound effect. Jason Garrett's fault. Do you watch the game? No, I did not watch The Game Stands Tall yet, Zach. I told you I watched Any Given Sunday and Rocky 4. I'll get there. The A-Team. If you can find them. Maybe you can hire the A-Team. I pity the fool. I pity the fool. Don't watch Online Big Blue. Matt Houston. Underrated show, Matt Houston. V was a weird show. I didn't see the new one, but I knew there was a series, but I never saw I saw the movies. I knew there was a series. Roscoe Pete Coltrane. Big Trouble in Little China is my favorite, one of my favorite movies. Jack Burton. You know what old Jack Burton says at a time like this? What the hell? I used to also always do. Rex Smith. Thank you. It's gonna drive me crazy. Thank you. And then you catch it. It's all in the reflexes. That's a great movie. I gotta watch Big Trouble in Little China tonight. That is literally the Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York are probably two of my favorite Kurt Russell movies. That is a great movie, man. Now you got me that I didn't see any Transformer movies. Only Transformer movie I've seen is the one that's the cartoon, and I saw that with my son. He wanted to watch it like a year or two ago. Then Optimus Prime dies in it. The hell he dies? How do you kill Optimus Prime and half the Autobots like through half the damn movie? The Pork Chop Express. I used to say that to people on the bike when I had my fat bob, because I had these big ass pipes. And my favorite scene on the one of my favorite scenes in the movie with the Pork Chop Express and Big Trouble in Little China is when he fires up the truck. And the girl goes, "What is that?" And he goes, 6.9 on the Richter scale. So I used to say that when I'd fire up my bike. They'd be, "What's that?" 6.9 on the Richter scale. He scared the hell out of me too. And then when he pulled the mask off, and then they had the baby. Oh, Riptide. I want to remember Riptide. Riptide wasn't on for a long time. Tales of the Golden Monkey. And it was the Stephen, whatever his name, the guy that got convicted or got in trouble with the young girls. He was the pilot. He was Jake. And then the mechanic, his buddy, was also in Baba Black Sheep. I can't remember. He was one of the pilots. Tales of the Golden Monkey. That's it. Well, Home Alone. What was that? You know, Home Alone's actually an interesting movie. Big Trouble. Big Trouble. How do you not love Big Trouble? I mean, Mr. How do you not love Big Trouble in Little China, though? I mean, some of the things, son of a bitch must pay. I mean, I could quote that. My neighbor, who's actually coming over on Friday. Him and I are big Trouble Little China fans. So we'll just quote the movie and our wives won't like it too much. I always wanted to get the t-shirt because you could buy the tank top. You could buy that's such a great movie. Polar Express, Top Gun. Yeah, I saw Top Gun in high school. On the Polar Express. 5 Deadly Venoms. I don't think I've seen that one. Bumblebee was saw. Did not see. I haven't watched any of the Transformer movies. Knight Rider at the time was dope. Bugsy Malone, Scott Baio. When him and the little kids were all adults and they had the guns. I always wondered when the machine guns that shot the whipped cream ball. Starscream got melted. Yeah, he did get melted. That was a weird ass movie. I saw the cartoon one in the theaters. Like I said, I just saw the cartoon one with my son. Like, no, it wasn't just. It was like a year ago because he's big into Transformers, and he wanted to watch that. And I was like, "The hell, man? What the hell's going on?" The Thing, another underrated Kurt Russell movie. And then you got him and the guy that in Platoon at the end, sitting there, knowing that they're gonna die. That was a good movie. Kurt was good in Miracle. Who you play for? I play for the United States of America. That's it. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, bruise on the leg is it's a far away from the heart. Candy ass. Raw Deal, Arnold Schwarzenegger, good movie. Commando, good movie. Predator, gotta love Predator. Just watched Predator the other day. Delta Force was Delta Force was another good movie. Stalag 17 saw that. 12 Angry Men. I like the original with Henry Fonda, not the remake. Another good flick. Cell Plankton still a secret formula for Jason Garrett's fault. My mother hit me once. I also like when he pulls out the gun. He goes, "This gun shoots through schools." Oh my god. Yep, Jake the mechanic, Jeff McKay was also regular. Yeah, it was also regular Magnum PI. Johnny Dangerously, man. G.I. Joe. I've never seen any G.I. Joe movies. Saw all the cartoons. Jesus American Hero. Hateful Eight. Saw that. That was a good one. Charles in Charge. Man Called Hawk. First of all, one of my favorite shows is Spencer for Hire. And one of my favorite characters of all time is Hawk. I loved first of all, Hawk was a badass because he's driving around in Boston and he's got the 357 Python. The Man Called Hawk was only on one show. And I didn't really like because they made him like a little bit more soft. He went into the jazz clubs, but it was great because I also someone I know, Spencer is his name. So a lot of times I go, Spencer. Every time I want to talk to him. It's only been funny for like 15, 20 years. Full Metal Jacket, another good movie. Full Metal Jacket. I liked Full Metal Jacket. Magnum Force. Oh, Magnum Force was great. Full Metal Jacket, though. Full Metal Jacket. Joker. Wise Guys. Wise Guys was a good one. Wise Guys the movie or Wise Guys the TV show? The big flop. Hey-o. Dark City. Liked it. Magnum Force, one of the best Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry movies. Dirty Harry. Original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Not when they took out the freaky scene in the tunnel. I don't know why. Play Misty for me. Another underrated Clint Eastwood movie when he played a DJ, a disc jockey. Keith David, thank you. Patton. Oh, I love Patton. That was a great movie. My dad loved that movie too. Longest Day was a long ass movie too. But you got all these guys in it. Spencer for Hire. Spencer. Jake Cutter. That's right, man. He had the plane. That's Snowpiercer. I liked Snowpiercer. And I guess the guy that's in Captain America's in Snowpiercer. That was kind of a weird movie. You got Ed Harris in that. And they had to eat the people. The Blind Side. The Blind Side was on right now. Avery Brooks is very underrated. Die Hard. I've been watching Die Hard for the last 2 nights, I think. Hamburger Hill. Lonesome Dove, the miniseries. Hamburger Hill. Don't mean a thing. Just don't mean a thing. Just don't mean a thing. Crime Story. That's a good one. Black Hawk Down. I liked Black Hawk Down. I saw it in the theaters. Suicide Squad. I liked the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet. Heartbreak Ridge. Stitch Jones, man. He's the Ayatollah of rock and roller. He's Stitch Jones. I ain't lying. And the Swede. That's where I got my line. Don't go away, man. Just go away. American Horror Story. That's a good one. Hang 'em High, man. Hang 'em High with Clint Eastwood. Hang 'em High. A fistful of dollars. A few dollars more. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Classic spaghetti westerns. So many good movies. So many choices for movie night. You're right. And from the creators of Miami, Nasty. Oh, Nasty Boys lasted 1 season when they were the SWAT team. I remember Nasty because he actually had the Nasty Boy song. Janet Jackson didn't sing it, but they had it. Wise Guy, the TV show. I liked it. I've seen it. I don't remember too much, but I had seen it because a lot of the shit was on Nick at Night too. A lot of the shit wasn't around when I was around. Officer and a Gentleman. Richard Gere. It was messed up when what's his name killed himself. Brazil was a messed up flick. That was not a movie you guys want to watch tonight. Tales from the Dark Side. That was a good one. Cities of the Rangers. Arrival, the 2016. I didn't see that. I saw the Charlie Sheen Arrival. I didn't see that one. Any of the Terminator movies. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, man, is actually a really good movie. That's actually a really good movie. Justice League Next Night. Haven't seen it. Key Largo, I've seen it. Heat, one of the longest gun, actually was at the time the longest gun battle ever filmed. Collateral, what's his name? Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Stephen Beeman. American Psycho, Christian Bale. American Psycho was so freak. Oh, the outlaw Josie Wales. You gonna pull those pistols or you gonna whistle Dixie? And I also love it. Something we have here, Mr. Carpenter called Missouri Boat Ride. Tales of the Gold Monkey. The Goose. It wasn't the Spruce Goose, but I can't remember. I did not see Concussion. 7 Deadly Samurais. I don't remember if I saw that one. I remember that. My Convoy. Grown Ups 1 and 2. I did not see Grown Ups 1 and 2. Amazing Stories, the TV show. I do remember that. For African Queen. Oh my God, that is going way back with Humphrey Bogart. Oh my God. One of my favorite movies, of course, always is Casablanca. I could watch that over and over again. And I love it when he goes boats. I see boats and hoes. I think you know if it's a you know Will Ferrell movie. I love it. But I mean Humphrey Bogart, one of the most quotable movies ever. When Captain Renault is leaving and he's closing it down for gambling, he goes, I'm shocked to see that there's gambling going on here. And then the waiter comes up and goes, here's your winnings, sir. And he goes, oh, thank you. He walks out. One of the other greatest things. The remote control lawnmower was intense, man. That was pretty funny. Boats and hoes. The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. I'll do you in the bottom while I'm drinking sangria. Lemonheads, nachos, my dad's boat. You won't go down because my blank can float. Speed Racer. The movie was freaky. I used to watch the cartoon. Step Brothers, one of my favorites. Citizen Kane, that's just a classic. Maltese Falcon, you gotta love Maltese Falcon. A lot of people don't watch any of these movies. Goosebumps. I didn't see Goosebumps. My son watched Goosebumps before. Run Silent, Run Deep. That is a good flick. Destination Tokyo is another good flick. And I remember Torpedo Run. Porky's. Wow, Porky's an old movie. Das Boot. Now, you talk original Das Boot from like the 40s because they remade that movie a bunch of times. But the original black and white one is actually a classic. Hot take, Goosebumps is creepier. Goosebumps is, because my son watched that shit. And you look at it and you're like, what the hell is going on here? What the hell? Hunt for Red October, Sean Connery. Well, you got Sean Connery in that movie. You got Alec Baldwin too. Sleepy Hollow because, what's his name? Johnny Depp. But then you got Johnny Rico in that movie. Anything you got with Johnny Rico, man? I mean, come on. Saying we don't know what Johnny Rico is. Who's Johnny Rico? That's my alias. Johnny Rico is one of my aliases. Of course, Lars Van Den Heuler and Pablo Sands are my two aliases I ever have to go on the run. My third is Johnny Rico. The remake, the It remake. I didn't see the It remake. The first one was Scoop. It was crazy enough. Let's see. Remember Goosebumps? Yeah, Goosebumps, man. Goosebumps. Enemy Below. That's a good. Now they just did another one that's called Enemy Below. Was a horror that I just watched with the guy that was the coach. Remember the Titans? 21 Jump Street. Let's jump. Then you have to have Booker. Booker for one season. Sharknado. I was never into the Sharknado ones. I saw the first one. I never into those. I haven't seen the 21 Jump Street movies yet. Tron. Ooh, Tron. That's going way back. That was trippy with Jeff Daniels. Torpedo Run was Clark Gable's last film before he died. Berkline. I didn't know that. I have not seen Torpedo Run. It's something I got to look into. Hey, what's going on, my friend? Welcome all the way from Italy. Drop by the pay respects for Slappy, Slimy, Sticky Eagles fans, losers on the outdoors. Of course, they're all losers. We're actually closing it out, my friend. We're actually talking about movies and TV shows. But we are Ferris. I was never a big Fresh Prince fan. That's when I was going out. I would go out. Highlander, the TV show or the movie. Victorious. Is that the soccer one? Is that the soccer one? I think I remember that one. Highlander voted won the Academy Award for what? Best movie ever made. You gotta love that one. Booker was the spinoff. I never watched Friends. I just started watching Seinfeld like 2 weeks ago. Seinfeld's pretty funny. Highlander the movie was pretty good. I think there was 2 other ones after that, but that was a pretty good movie. But I never watched Friends. Like I said, I just started watching Seinfeld, and Seinfeld's actually pretty funny. I'm surprised. I don't know why I never watched it. The unofficial movie scene counts. That's true. It really is. Event Horizon. I was not into Event Horizon. Event Horizon. I wasn't. Endgame. Endgame was a good one too. My father's always taught me all men are created equal, but some work harder, and inside we live and breathe to execute our playbooks and imperfection. You're right, my friend. You're right. You know what? And it's one of those things that you gotta press forward. You gotta move on. You gotta do what you gotta do. You're right though. Infinity War. Yeah, that was all right. Red Dawn, the original. Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen, the other chick from Dirty Dancing, Leah Thompson. Like I said, I'm full of useless information. Flash Gordon, man. Flash Gordon. Just remember, and who are you? Flash Gordon, quarterback. New York Jets. Earth. Go, Flash, go. Go, Flash, go. I know it was go, Flash, go. That was another freaky movie, man. War of the Worlds TV show. I'm watching the English version of that. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I got to. Well, you know, I got that. I got that on here too. Got that on my soundboard. I noticed someone mentioned Snowpiercer. Besides the movie, it was besides the movie. I didn't see the TV show, but the movie was great. Buck Rogers, Gil Gerard. Good. That's another good one. Buck Rogers. War of the Worlds 1950, and that's I can't remember the guy's the actor in that, but that's actually that movie freaked me out as a kid. Chuck Connors as the rifleman. And how about Have Gun Will Travel? Have Gun Will Travel is the call of the man, a night without honor in a savage land. Thank God. You are the last dragon. You possess the power of the glow. You got show enough against Bruce Leroy. That's the Last Dragon. You're talking what you call? You're talking Bruce Lee, but I'm talking what you call? I'm talking Last Dragon. I just love the Last Dragon. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original. I liked the 78 with them with the ants. With the fucking ants, man. I remember that as a kid being freaked out by that, watching that on like Saturdays. And the freaking you hear that noise and you're like, and then you hear that noise, you're like, oh my God, the ants are coming. Hudson, man, game over, man, game over. What are we gonna do now, man? We're some serious shit, man. What are we gonna do? Why don't we build some marshmallows? Have a fire. Fargo. Good movie, Fargo. Good movie. Nothing less than elite is not going to be beast mode on grind 100% daily, still in counting. That's what you do, champion. That is what champions are made of. I'm starting back in the gym now, feeling better again, pumping and grinding again. Thank God. Lego Movie Batman, Last Starfighter, Lance Guest. That was we could go in against the Armada. He goes, it's gonna be a slaughter. That's the spirit. No, our slaughter. Elf. Zachary. Oh, Zachary. Oh no, Zachary.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Elf is like my favorite movie. You're about to get banned. You're about to get banned. Elf is like one of my favorite movies. But I will. You are Zack Attack, so I will let that. What's up, James? We're just closing out, man. We're actually talking about movies. We're actually talking about some flicks. Forbidden Planet. I want Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet. They Live. You know, They Live is one of my favorites. I do it all the time.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Paladin. Thank you. It was Paladin. I forgot the name of it. Yes, Richard Boone. Nick at Night. Have gun will travel is the call of a man. James, you're late, man. We gotta head out. We're heading out. Kickboxer and Bloodsport. Oh, Kickboxer, man. Bloodsport 2, two other classic movies. And then No Retreat, No Surrender. Deadpool. You gotta love Deadpool too. Deadpool was another one of those one of those Clint Eastwood movies. And then the line in Deadpool is that you're shit out of luck. Because I remember when he's in the Chinese restaurant, he crumps up the cookies and he goes, "You forgot your fortune cookie." And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "You're shit out of luck." Karate Kid. You know, Karate Kid's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie at all. That series is the Cobra Kai series. That's actually pretty I like that. I started watching that. I actually like that. It's kind of, it's kind of weird that how they tied it in all together. I mean, I kind of like that. It's kind of weird. What do we got here? Love The Empire Strikes Back. It's a good movie. Question. What do you think, Mike? Of course I have the power, man. Oh, you believe like me. Oh my God. That's right. Oh my God. James Williams coming in late, but coming in strong. Cobra Kai. Thank you. Thank you. Next best Christmas movie. Oh, you know what's funny? Everyone thinks that my favorite movie is holiday movie is Family Vacation, or not Family Christmas, whatever the hell it's called. Griswold Christmas, whatever the hell it's called. I can't remember what it's called. And I love it because people always get me things from that movie. I have so many Clark Griswolds and like the he's in the Santa suit with the chainsaw. And a Christmas Vacation, and I laugh because that's not really my favorite movie, and people just automatically assumed it. So they would send me the shit. My friends would give me the stuff for like Christmas and stuff, and I just laugh because now I have a life-size Clark Griswold cutout in front of my Christmas tree, and I've had that for a couple of years now, and so I'm gonna have to say Christmas Vacation. G.I. Joe, greatest American hero. Tales of the Tooth. That's too scary. Beetlejuice is a good Bonsai. Oh yeah, when he gets drunk. Sandafra. Wait. I love it. He goes, "Show me Sandafra," and he goes down and he whacks him. Like, and then when he breaks the bottles, and he goes, "How did you do that?" He goes, "I don't know. First time." Oh my God, that's such a good movie. That is a good movie. Mr. Authentic, of course, is here. Tora. Good movie. Midway, we talked about World War Z. I liked the book a lot better than I did the film. I liked it a little bit better. No one's mentioned Buckaroo Banzai. Final Countdown with Kurt Douglas on the boat that goes through the time warp and it goes back to Pearl Harbor. Yep, seen that one. Anyone like comics inspired shows like Doom Patrol? Great show. I'll have to check that out. I liked American Sniper. I saw that. Batman Returns. I saw that one. Well, there you go. I love your channel. I'm pretty sure you always answered my questions honestly. Well, Steven, I tried to. You've come in late. We've started early. So now we're talking about movies and TV shows. Oh, my God. Planet of the Apes original. I liked Planet of the Apes original. I also liked Beneath the Planet of the Apes because they used the sets from Hello Dolly. Logan? What was Logan? Logan's Run? Karate Kid 2, Don't You Never Attacked by Never Been Attacked by Trees. I forgot about that one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you also had Matthew, what's his name? Was Matthew McConaughey. It's in the movie as well. The Real Ghostbusters, awesome cartoon. The Real Ghostbusters cartoon was actually a very awesome cartoon. Buckaroo Banzai, man. Buckaroo Banzai. You drove through a mountain. Yes, I did. And the Delaware Destroyers. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Oh, no, know that one. I don't know that one. RoboCop. RoboCop was a good movie too. The original one. Come quietly or there'll be trouble. Red Foreman's in that too. That's another good. Saturn V. Farrah Fawcett's in that. I don't know what's his name. Kirk Douglas is also in it. Spaceballs. Like, did we stop? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's take a break. Smoking if you got him. I didn't see the Wolverine. I don't watch any of the like the superhero things. I'm not into that. I've never been into those movies. Danielson, not a tournament. This is for real. That's right. I forgot about that. With what's his name when he has to fight the other guy, who he actually becomes friends with in Cobra Kai. Jake and the Fat Man. Fahrenheit 451. Oh, I can't talk about Major League 2. I've already told this story a million. I've already told this story. I can't talk about Major League. Major League 2. I was there in Major League 2. They filmed that all in Baltimore. And there's a scene in the BWI airport where he comes, because I was seeing someone that was a production assistant on the film. And that's where I met Charlie Sheen. And I had I have a story about the 2 nights that I hung out with Charlie Sheen. And it's funny though, because there's a scene in the airport when they come back from spring training. And I remember it because I was hungover and they were filming the scene. And at the scene, Charlie Sheen, all of a sudden, Charlie Sheen's just sitting there going, can we do this already? Can we do this? Can we get this? Can we do this? And I thought to myself, wow, that guy's such a dick. And then I found out they were actually rolling. And then if you watch that scene in the movie, he's talking to his ex-girlfriend. He's trying to get someone to take a picture. And that's actually the scene. You can see my arm in that scene. My arm is famous. I like Planet of the Apes TV show. The cartoon was a good show, the Planet of the Apes. That was interesting. Jim Carrey, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, one of the best mind. Oh, that's fairly new. Planet of the Apes didn't even dive halfway into the comic. Yeah, sure they didn't. What's his name? But they went more with the Ape Planet. They followed more of the original book from Pierre Boulier, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. Trying to get me by a butterfly knife. I have a butterfly knife. I have a couple of them. I didn't live in good neighborhoods. Sometimes I did not live in good neighborhoods. People always laugh about that. I tell this story where I was at the Giant game and there was these guys from Newark and we were talking and he was talking about Newark in the 90s and he was like, where were you from? I said, I lived in Trenton, New Jersey. And he goes, where? I said, North Clinton Ave. And he looked at me and he goes, dude, I thought I had it bad. And I always tell people, I used to tell people real easy to get to my house. You go down North Broad Street and there is a burned out 76 Chevy on the corner. You make a right there and go down 4 houses. And the guy was, and I remember one friend was like, well, how's that car? How do you know that car's still going to be there? I was like, that car's been there for like the last 5 years. It's not going anywhere. Rush Hour 2. Rush Hour 2 is actually a pretty good movie. Hey, Tim, you can't say the F word. Fat. Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever. Whatever. I don't care. I grew up watching Home Alone movies from Christmas time. Home Alone was actually a good Die Hard's got to be my favorite. And it's actually Day of the Triffids. Good spelling, but it's Day of the Triffids. That's when the plants took over and they got killed by the salt water. And they killed them all in the lighthouse. Yes, when she brought the kids, my arm is in that scene. That's the first time I met Charlie Sheen. My arm is right in there. You could see my arm. Yeah, that was crazy though, because I thought he was such a dick. I'm like, wow, this guy is such a dick. And I was like, no, I'm like, oh my God, they're rolling. He's not being a dick. He's acting. And it was funny because when we met, they had a section roped off for him because he was smoking and drinking some coffee. And the person I was seeing was like, don't go over and talk to Charlie Sheen. I was like, okay. I wasn't planning on it, but okay. And he went to the bathroom and he had a bodyguard go with him to the bathroom. Big guy, big, huge guy. And I remember I had to go to the bathroom. And I told the guy, I said, I got to go to the bathroom. I said, and he goes, well, Charlie's using the bathroom. I said, well, that's great, but I have to go to the bathroom. So I said, I don't care who's using the bathroom. I said, and I told him, I said, you are not going to have an issue because I have to go to the bathroom. So he let me go to the bathroom. And I remember Charlie Sheen looked at me and said, no one's ever gotten around him. I was like, I had to go, man. I had to go. Day of the Triffids. Kung Fu Theater, man. The original Drunken Master is a great show. You know, that was Robert Duvall. Good film. Good film. That was a good film. Oh my God. Johnny Mnemonic. That was okay. That was Keanu Reeves. Not terrible. Let's see. I left to pray and read a book for my stepdaughter, and you're still streaming. I thought you were going to end it. All right, guys. You know, Night of the Comet. Oh my God. Bad movie. Everyone dies because of the red dust, except for the people. They're like, and they forgot to change. They forgot to close the vents in the government building, and except for the two Valley girls live. Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer. Yeah. Blind Fury. Another good movie. Blake 7, Night of the Comet, Kung Fu Panda. I actually saw Kung Fu. I was in the movie, but I was an extra in the scene. I wasn't in the movie. Well, I guess I was in the movie. You can see my arm, but I was an extra in the scene. So, and I was only an extra because I was going out with someone that was working on the film at the time. So, but yeah, that's I was an extra in the scene. That was a good movie. Fearless. I never saw Fearless. That's the Bradley Cooper flick. All right, guys, I got to close this out. It is 10 o'clock, and all we're doing is talking about movies. I actually enjoyed this more than anything else. It's not that I don't enjoy talking Giants over here. The Rainmaker. That is a good, I mean, you want a legal bender. That was good. And then you feel bad that the kid dies, and then Roy Scheider's in that movie. He's got the weird sweater on at the end. That was a good movie. That was a real good movie. I think next time we're just going to have a movie stream. We're going to have a movie stream called Stump Tim. Drink my cap on. That might help. All right, guys. I'm going to end this, guys. John Marin has ruined the Giants. He has ruined the Giants. He thinks he's his dad. Better poster than the Clear and Present Danger. Patriot Games. All good movies. I am having a very bad day. I was in the bus that flipped over 47 times. My car blew up. I was on the bus that counted 47 times. Rush Hour 2. Mr. Authentic, have a good night, guys. We're going to close it out. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Hope everyone has a good night. It's very late. I think we're going to go for 2 hours. Enjoyed talking to everyone. And, we'll have a new video out tomorrow. And hope everyone has a great evening. And we will see you soon. Good night, everyone. Falling Down. Good movie. I was just watching it the other day. You know, this is a territorial thing. I understand. I mean, I wouldn't like you if you were in my neighborhood. You know, when he meets the two gangbangers. That was a good one too. You were late, James, but it's good to see you always, my friend. Stay safe, my brother. Have yourself a good night. Have yourself a good evening. J-Ham, everyone. Peace. I am